A former Leaf speaks out about being traded at the deadline and the relationships he built in Toronto. We'll discuss this and break it all down for you in this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we get into all of that, we just want to say that 94% of you guys aren't subscribed. So if you're looking for a home to daily NHL and Leafs content, look no further and go down and hit that subscribe button. But with that out of the way, let's get right into the top of this video, which is ex-Leaf speaks out about being traded. And yes, we're talking about Rasmus Sandin and the relationship he built with William Nylander during his time in Toronto. He goes, Sandin described Nylander as not just a teammate, but one of his best friends. A friendship that has its roots back in 2015, 2016. He goes on to say here, yeah, I mean, almost getting a little emotional just thinking about it. But I mean, Willie is one of my best friends, and I've known him probably since 2016, 2015, or something like that. So when I got drafted to Toronto, first off, I mean, he was on the same team. It was just awesome, Sandin said. And he also goes on to say here about when he was being traded, him and Nylander were on the ice together. And as they were leaving the ice, Willie said to him, but when we walked off, I think that was really cool. And he was kind of saying, don't cry yet, the cameras are around. And Nylander's words exemplified his genuine concern and support for Sandin during this challenging moment. He went on to offer Sandin words of encouragement, well wishes, and assurance that friendship would remain the same. And since that day, Sandin and Nylander have continued their daily conversations, transcending the boundaries of distance and team affiliation. Their enduring friendship serves as a heartwarming reminder of the profound connections formed within the world of hockey. And obviously, Mark, this is just great to hear. I was reading this earlier and I just thought, wow, like Nylander, what a class act of a guy, a guy who just got traded. And, sometimes the Toronto media can be, a bit intense during times like this. And, Nylander just didn't want anything to get out on social media of Sandin crying or anything like that. So I just think this was just such a genuine act and it's just heartwarming act from Nylander.
You really like to see this with teams in the situation of it seems like such a tight knit team. You see a guy like Matthews and Marner, they're great friends. Tavares is a great leader. A guy like Nylander fits in with the Swedes perfectly. Bunting was in there and fit in with Matthews and Marner immediately. And it's a situation where you have these guys, and not only is it a team, but it seems like it's a bond and a friendship, which I think does build chemistry over time. You have a job where you go in and you work with your guy next to you, and it's just, you go to work 9 to 5, leave. But if you build that kind of friendship between the team like that, I think that almost elevates the team and makes you play harder. You're performing guys, you're trying to outperform guys. And just a situation with this Nylander stepping up and just making sure Sandin's fine, you can see that it's not just Tavares leading this group. You see a lot of guys where they have this just big, we want to care about each other situation.
Yeah, definitely. It's like that anywhere you go, not just in hockey. If you enjoy the people you're around all the time, you're going to enjoy going to work and, in this case, playing hockey. And you're going to play harder and, you're going to lift each other up when you're down and, party on when times are high. And I think this is just a culture that Toronto has. I think, with, the media sometimes can be a bit harsh in Toronto. I know they've been criticized in the past. But when you got this tight knit group of guys, and he just got traded, and Nylander comes to him and is just expressing his feelings for him, and the fact that they're still like great friends today, it just shows how good of a hockey culture and team culture is in Toronto.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing too. Like you said, the Toronto media is so hard to play under sometimes, and having a guy like Nylander be one of the core four guys, and just being able to like play in the spotlight, not really care about the media too much, and push all that to the side just to play, produce. I think that's a big thing in a market like this. You see small markets, some guys enjoy that where there's under the radar, no one really talks about them. The media, might spark up a conversation if they're having a good week, but in Toronto, it seems like the media nitpicks everything where it could be like, oh, Nylander's made a turnover in a 6-1 game where Toronto was winning. And situations like this might, kind of hurt a guy's confidence, situations like this. But it seems like the Leafs, especially Tavares and Nylander, almost push all this outside media stuff out. And it's just, play hockey, show up to the rink, and we need to do everything we can to win.
Yeah, and definitely. And when you got guys in the locker room that are gonna pick you up when you're down or whatever, it's just gonna help, like you said, build chemistry and make this team a lot stronger, and make the core, a lot stronger as well. And like you said, when you got these guys who have been in Toronto their whole career and they know what it's like, and when you got guys coming in who don't really know what they expect, it's nice to have these guys that can pick up these young guys, when they're getting slated across the whole media. I know Toronto is a hard spot. I know it's hockey is a hard sport, especially in Canada for media because it's Canada's sport and they're gonna pick at everything. But Mark, I'm gonna turn it to another direction here now. Obviously, we know that Nylander is still not extended, but when you hear about something like this come out that Nylander's just such a class act, like on and off the ice. It kind of makes you want to have Nylander back in Toronto.
Yeah, and it's not even just the situation of him being a great player, a great teammate and stuff, but it's so hard to just get into the situation of trading him for something else. I mean, it's a situation where you trade a dollar for 4 quarters. I mean, you still get similar value, but you're not getting that one high-end piece. You're just getting 4 pieces to make up that one piece. So it's hard to kind of move on from this guy where he could produce 40, 50 goals, maybe 100 points, hopefully. And you might get a couple guys back that's, 30, 40 points. And it's almost like you're filling the roster just to make up his production. So it's hard to just kind of get off him and just not have him there. I know they brought in a guy like Reeves to kind of, get the team spirits up a bit. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to flourish on the Toronto media. He's going to bring the locker room up and everything. But you need more guys. Like Nylander is one of the big guys that you really need to keep around for that.
Yeah, definitely. No, I really think that management and the organization is really high on Nylander, and they're gonna do everything in their possibility to keep him back. And I think we'll definitely see him. I think back in Toronto. I think there's no way that they move on from him. I think he's just such a talented player on the ice, and now like with reports like this coming out, the stuff that we don't see behind the scenes, I think this is a great guy you want to have in your organization, and I think we'll definitely see him extended.
Oh, no, I really hope so.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into our next topic here, which is obviously comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Shane Hoskins. He said, well spoken, great topic to chat about. Go Leafs, go. We just want to give a shout out to you, Shane. Thanks for watching the videos. I hope you enjoy them. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the season starts. And, if we just want to hear your comments about like Nylander and Sandin and what he had to say today. We like to hear what your guys' thoughts are about it, so make sure to go down and leave a comment, and maybe you'll be featured on the next comment of the day. But I've been KC alongside my co-host Mark Pye. Keep your stick on the ice.